Next on Worcester News tonight, a meeting in Holden is giving residents a chance to voice their opinions on a project which aims to provide roadway and traffic safety improvements. Plus, a Webster home is hit by gunfire. Police say they believe someone who lives there was the target. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Two Central Massachusetts state leaders are now heading up two of the most powerful committees in the 116th Congress. Congressman Richard Neal is the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, which handles tax writing. Congressman Jim McGovern has taken over as chairman of the House Rules Committee. He says every bill going to the floor goes through his committee, and as chair, he can make sure Massachusetts' interests are protected.
Two of the most powerful and influential committees in the Congress, and to have two Massachusetts people rise to these positions, is really quite incredible. And I want to thank my old boss, Congressman Joe Moakley, for putting me on the Rules Committee, and he'll put Richie Neal on the Ways and Means Committee. He knew the importance of placing us on key committees so that as we rose in seniority, we could better fight for the interests of Massachusetts.
McGovern says one of his top priorities in the Rules Committee is reopening the government. Harrington Hospital will be closing its 11-bed inpatient pediatric unit at the end of March. The Worcester Business Journal reports the closing is due to low patient volume. According to the hospital, over the past year, less than 2 patients a day were passing through the pediatric inpatient unit. The hospital filed a notice of impending layoffs with the state under an act which helps the employees find new jobs. Children who need to be admitted will be sent to UMass Memorial Medical Center in Worcester, similar to when Harrington closed its birthing center in 2017 due to low birth volume. The hospital says outpatient pediatric care will still be available. A proposed construction project in Holden is generating a lot of debate. The town laid out plans to change a busy and outdated intersection in town tonight. Our Cam Jandro was at the meeting where residents got to voice their opinions. Cam?
Anna, similar to Worcester and Kelly Square, Doyle Street and Shrewsbury Street in Holden have become somewhat of a concern over the last few years. It's something the town says that they've been looking into for quite some time. So tonight they had a few proposals for how to fix this intersection, but not everybody was on board. Strong reaction from residents in Holden Wednesday after seeing proposed changes to the Shrewsbury-Doyle Street intersection.
You're talking about people that don't even live in town and they fly through. I am on Doyle. I'm near the intersection. This is going to be a mess.
Town officials say the intersection is Holden's second busiest roadway, with traffic buildups surpassing 1/3 of a mile almost daily. The town also says Shrewsbury and Doyle streets can see more than 20,000 vehicles combined each day. DPW Director John Woodsmall says the intersection is outdated.
To do things correctly in accordance with today's standards, things such as complete streets and other new stormwater standards.
The room was packed at the town's municipal light department for the meeting, some not in favor of the potential project.
When the light turns red there, it'll all back up around the roundabout and nobody will go anywhere.
Our problem in this town is Main Street. It is not Shrewsbury Street.
The project is still in the early phases of development, but will also attempt to improve the Shrewsbury-Chapel-Holden Street intersection.
I think there's a definite realization that there's a fair amount of traffic going through that area that definitely causes delays during the commuting periods.
Now, the town says it's about 10% completed. The design still has a ways to go. The goal now is to get funding from MassDOT to actually construct the project. Live in Holden tonight, Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
Now to Webster, where an investigation is underway after police say a home was shot at. The shooting forced nearby schools to be put on lockdown, but police say it was out of an abundance of caution. Our Rosalind Flaherty has those details.
I heard 2 loud noises.
Bullet holes are visible on the side of Caleb Andrews' home in Webster. Police say someone shot at the apartment building on Lake Street early Wednesday morning.
I came outside and it was just quiet and I didn't know what happened. And about 10 minutes later, cops were all swarming my house asking me if I got shot.
Police say shots were fired around 7:30 a.m., creating concern for neighbors. 2 nearby schools were put into a soft lockdown.
Very scary for that to happen around here.
Obviously there's a concern there.
but we don't believe that anybody was in immediate danger at that point.
Police say a male dressed in a black coat with a hood took off on foot shortly after. They do not believe the incident is random and believe the person who was targeted wasn't home.
We have some information that we're following up on that would lead us in that direction.
Police believe 2 rounds were fired, and fortunately, the bullets didn't make it inside the home.
The ballistic section came out, and it looks like they're lodged in the actual walls themselves.
Andrews says the incident doesn't scare him. He doesn't believe anyone would target his family. He's happy no one was hurt.
It'd be horrible for something to happen to one of them, somebody driving by shooting at us, so people need to knock it off.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Autopsy results on the body found near Salvation Army in Worcester come back inconclusive to the city's police department. Worcester police have not identified the victim, only saying she was a female. The body was found near donation bins outside of the Salvation Army on Cambridge Street Monday. Police are investigating it as a homicide, but have not said whether or not the death is suspicious. Anyone with information is asked to contact Worcester police. A mild winter so far, but it doesn't mean Worcester DPW isn't preparing for snow and ice. The department is always working to improve its strategy. DPW Commissioner Paul Moosey says for the past 2 winters, they've pre-treated major roads, including bus routes, ahead of significant storms. He says it helps shorten the cleanup time, and they plan to continue the strategy this year.
This year, we intend to expand the amount of pre-treatment we do more into the side streets, and it's really the steeper hills that, we'll see how much of a benefit that gives us in terms of cleanup and again, how's that plowing operation? Can we shorten the time that the roads are dangerous and unsafe?
He says they plan to see how it goes and evaluate at the end of the season. Moosey also addressed the black ice issues the city faced a few weeks back, which led to accidents. He says the roads were all salted, but salt melted quicker in some places. Moosey says when there's ice or snow, there are things people can do to assist DPW.
When we have any kind of a storm where we're treating the roads, plowing, is to avoid travel during those hours if it's all possible. The other thing is obey the parking bans where no parking is allowed. It's usually for a reason, so we can get in there and plow. It's where roads are narrowed.
Moosey says they ask for people to be patient and follow these requests is important for everyone's safety during the winter months. And it's been a slow start to the winter season in central Massachusetts. We've seen colder temperatures, but not much snow. And Wachusett Mountain is feeling the effects. They've had to make almost all of the snow skiers and snowboarders have seen this season. Our Chandler Walsh explains.
Wachusett Mountain ski trails are blanketed in snow, but a few inches to the side and the ground is bare. The ski area says they've been open since mid-November, but are currently operating on 100% machine-made snow.
Other than one snowfall in November, we have not had a flake of natural snow.
Marketing Director Tom Myers says their machines have turned 95 million gallons of water from a nearby reservoir into snow. He says it's expensive with power and labor costs, but the alternative would be closing.
If we get natural snow, we don't have to make as much snow, but certainly it's what carries the season for us. It's really the lifeblood of the mountain.
Myers says so far they've had a solid season with visitors. Snowboarder Tanner Emond is waiting for a storm. He says nothing compares to the real thing.
Sometimes you're going down and you can feel it, that it's not real, and you hit ice patches.
But snowboarders at the mountain Wednesday are happy they're able to hit the slopes regardless.
It's incredible. I mean, to see the snow cover and to see how much is down there.
I didn't think I was going to get any snowboarding in this season, but I did because there's snow here, so it's sick.
23 of Wachusett Mountain's 27 trails are open with an average of 4 feet of powder. Myers says new technology allows them to measure the snow with GPS.
We can manage the snow much better. We can move snow with the grooming machines. We can make snow when we get cold weather and maintain the base steps much better and more efficiently than we ever could before.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Wachusett says they've had plenty of visitors for the Christmas season and winter breaks. They say there'll be many opportunities for real snow the rest of the season. Well, the Worcester Community Action Council met in Boston today to request money to help support the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. WCAC and several councils across the state are asking for $30 million to support the LIHEAP program. WCAC says though this year's national budget increased, the state of Massachusetts budget was cut by $11 million.
People don't receive an increase. In many cases, they're going to have to go without heat, and that's a punishing circumstance for anybody to consider. We need to take care of these vulnerable people, and we hope that this supplement will allow us to increase their benefits a little bit.
WCAC says heating, especially during the winter months, is a critical resource for people across the state. The Cannabis Control Commission is officially moving to Worcester. The deal was made official last night during a city council meeting where officials approved a $2 million loan. The money will go towards renovating Union Station, where the agency will be headquartered.